What's going on? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the topic of prioritizing testosterone optimization rather than prioritizing training, muscle building, and all those things when it comes to muscle growth, aesthetics, androgen density, so on and so forth. So when it comes to the fitness industry, there's a lot of guys prioritizing, especially natural bodybuilders and guys that train naturally, they prioritize different ways of training rather than looking at the research and prioritizing natural testosterone optimization. Because this study, as you can see here, showcased that they had 4 groups. One group that trained naturally, one group that trained naturally plus took testosterone, one group that did not train and took testosterone, and one group that did not train, did not take testosterone. And what it showed was that the guys who trained naturally had less muscle growth than the guys who rested, did not train, and took testosterone, showcasing that hormonal optimization is much more important than doing all these tactics to build muscle in the gym. When you see things like animals in the wild, like gorillas, they're naturally huge due to hormonal optimization, not because they have a training split that they follow 6 times a week. Or back in the days, guys would have naturally nice physiques and they wouldn't have super complex training routines. They would just prioritize hormonal optimization. And this is the philosophy that I go by. And my credentials are as so. It works. Let me show you some clips. So my deadlift is 280 kilos. This was a couple of years ago. And I stopped deadlifting because I don't really care about deadlifting. Weighted pull-ups. This is how I used to look like. So I was skinny. And I prioritize hormonal optimization naturally. And I only train 3 times a week. Sometimes I only train twice a week. Because I understand that hormonal optimization is much more important than being constantly in the gym. Right? And I'm super strong and I'm lean. That's the difference. You see a lot of guys that are super strong, but they can't do a pull-up. They can't even imagine doing a weighted pull-up. They can't even do pull-ups. So the goal is getting super strong, 100 kilo overhead press. I'm not showing this to impress, but impress upon the fact that I know what I'm talking about. 80 kilo weighted pull-up. Hormonal optimization is the way to go. 1-arm pull-ups. 1-arm pull-ups, but I can bench 150 kilos. So you can see 150 kilos here. So I'm just showing you this to showcase that I want you to understand that hormonal optimization should be the prioritization. So we have here muscle ups. Okay. So let's get back into this. So next thing, I want to showcase to you a study which showed a 40% increase in testosterone in just 4 weeks of training full body. So in 2006, this guy had 20 male volunteers, here's the study, with no prior experience with strength training, right? So there was no muscle memory, there was none of that. All of the subjects were tested and medically examined so that there was no possibility of performance enhancing drug use to screw up the results. After the medical examination, each of the volunteers were given a 4-week sub-maximal strength training routine, which was to be conducted on 3 days of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So the training routine was full body 3 times a week. All the sessions were to be conducted at 12 p.m. and the use of any nutritional supplement during the 4-week period was forbidden. After a month of the full body program, the results speak for themselves. Even though right after the exercise there was an acute reduction in T, likely because resistant training makes muscle cells absorb more androgens from the blood, and as a result the testosterone levels goes down for a while. But there was a significant 40% increase in resting testosterone and a 24% decrease in resting cortisol, which is a primary stress hormone. So let's get back to this. When you train in the gym, the reason why you grow so much, initially the noob gains, is because you're sensitive to myostatin. Myostatin being this. To give you a picture, these cows are myostatin deficient. Myostatin keeps you small. The higher your myostatin is, the smaller you are. What training does, and specifically testosterone is known to suppress myostatin levels in skeletal muscle. That's why when people take testosterone, they grow super quickly. But they all hit a plateau, right? But when you train, so on and so forth. So prioritizing testosterone optimization over, going to the gym and overtraining yourself, I rather undertrain by 10% than overtrain by 1%. When you're overtraining, you're lowering your testosterone. So you're increasing myostatin. So you're going to be smaller. Hopefully that makes sense. When it comes to the study, they obviously injected testosterone, which there's a lot of problems with that, because then your body's not utilizing cholesterol, which is needed in the process of cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, vitamin A and T3 to produce pregnenolone. So you're skipping those steps. So you have more cholesterol in the body, fatty liver. You don't want that. You're not producing LH or FSH from the hypothalamus, arterial pituitary, GnRH, which signals the arterial pituitary, then FSH, LH, which signals the testes. So you're skipping all those parts. And within that part, you need FSH to produce sperm, right? That's why a lot of guys who are on testosterone, they're infertile, because you're skipping those steps. You want to do it naturally through proper hormonal optimization, fixing your micronutrient deficiencies, having a nutritional plan that optimizes your gut health, boosts your metabolic rate, gets rid of any endotoxins, things like that, training properly like this. When it comes to finding a training program, if you go to my brotherhood community, I'm going to leave a link down below. I left free. It's a free program. You have access to it. All you have to do is level up to level 3, which you can do that by just posting in the community, giving value. And then you have a course on androgen density, being that upper chest, shoulders, upper back, traps, that V-taper that women are biologically attracted to. When you see a beautiful woman with that shape, the reason why you're attracted to her is because it's telling you that she's hormonally healthy. She can bear children. Her characteristics are in place. She's more feminine, so on and so forth. So this teaches you proper training. So the myostatin deficiency, overtraining lowers testosterone. And the reason why you want to prioritize full body over split training 6 times a week, split training being Monday chest, Tuesday arms, so on and so forth, is because when you're natural, protein synthesis, when you train, spikes from, 24 to 48 hours, around that area. And when you're on steroids, it spikes for a longer period of time. That's why they can train chest on Monday and it will go till next Monday. When you're a natural, you want more frequency within your training. Training full body 3 times a week is perfect. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Because another thing, when you're training every day, don't forget, even though you're training a different muscle group, you're still training the same nervous system. So having that rest in between is going to prioritize recovery, higher testosterone. When you're overtraining, your cortisol goes up. And then the ratio, if cortisol goes up, testosterone will go down. So you want to prioritize recovery. When it comes to full body as well, let's say you have 2 twins. The exact same twins, the guy that trains full body for a year will have more gains than the guy who trains split training, because when you do full body, you're hitting a muscle group, if you're only doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 156 times a year. If you want to go that extra mile of do every second day, because when you're just doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're taking the weekends off, which is 2 days, but it works better with a routine. But if you want to go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, like every second day, you can get 182 days per year, right? Versus with the split training, you're only hitting a muscle group 52 times. So it's only giving you 52 opportunities to elicit a growth response. And another thing with the full body is you're only doing 1 to 2 exercises per muscle group, because you need to hit the entire body. But with those 1 or 2 exercises, you're putting all of your energy of that muscle group. So it's a very good, you're doing very good sets per muscle group. When you're doing a split session, the first 2, 3, 4 exercises might be good, but the other, if you're doing 8 exercises for chest on one, the last 4 exercises, you're just wasting your time and you're just doing it. So full body training just is so much superior to split training, because higher testosterone levels, more opportunities to build muscle, more recovery. You get to practice the exercise, especially when you're a beginner. A lot of the reason why when you're a natural and you start training, you don't see a lot of muscle growth in some cases at the start, because you need to get that neural gains first, which is actually performing the exercise properly. Because when you start benching, you don't know what you're doing. Once that settles in, by doing it on a frequent basis, if you're trying to get better at skateboarding, you're not going to do it once a week. You need to do it as frequently as you can. So at the start, quantity is important. Then quality is important. And then when you become more advanced, this is where quantity, quality comes into hand. This is where I'm at right now, really dialing small things in with nutrition, so on and so forth. But when you're a beginner, doing it this way works 100%. So that being said, hopefully you got some value out of this video. If you did, give it a like. I would appreciate it. Share with someone that needs to hear this. And yeah, pretty sure I covered everything. And yeah, God bless and see you later.